We ready? Yeah, we ready. All right, I want to run an update on the H3. I think I'm not 6 months. Maybe I'm 6 months into owning this thing. But still a great chair. I think some of the things that people don't talk about is that I'm 5'11". Getting in here is a pain in the ass. I don't know if my setup is typical, but trying to slide in here, I can even show you. I mean, I got my little wires here. I mean, I could probably do something with that, but I mean, I'm not talking about that. I mean, just this portion here. Trying to get into this thing. So I'm 5'11". So I have to move this. I kept this loose. This is how I normally have to get into here. Let's see. You got to swing around. And I don't know if it's just me, but like I said, I'm 5'11". I kind of got my seat centered, because you kind of want this over the center of gravity for the motors. But it is a pain in the ass to get into. For me, I had this taken off. I normally leave this off, but I want to do some racing, so I put it back on. So I think I get a quick release. If I get a quick release, that'll be easier to do. And I usually set this joystick over there, or this wheel over there on that little box there, makeshift stuff. And I leave the pedals on there, and then I can get in and out more easily. I don't know if this is an issue, but like one of my motors here, it's got more play than the other one. So I get this kind of a little rocking. See that? But they said that's not an issue. So far, it hasn't been an issue. This motor, that motor, I think that's a number 1. It gets warmer than the rest of the motors, which is also the one that has a little more play in it. So I don't know if that's an issue. I think I bought the wrong seat. I bought a cheap seat off Amazon, which is really just this seat. You see all that? That's a struggle. That's the struggle I have. Of course, you shouldn't be doing it with house shoes. You probably should put on some real shoes, to be honest with you. Treat it like a motion sim and put on real shoes. But this is the chair that I got from Ewin, and this is the back and seat of a chair I got off Amazon. Pretty much the same seat. I think this seat is too much. I think it's too wide here. I had to makeshift adjust it. And these are not complaints. This is just 6 months of me owning it. And the little things. The metal. This metal on here. My situation is kind of horrible. I got all this shit set up. These right here, for me, with the way I sit, even with this off, the back of my legs end up naturally leaning against this. And this is not enough cushion either. But without the cushion, it is unbearable. After about 30, 40 minutes of playing, you kind of want to just scream, I'm done. Because you don't realize it. You're relaxing, you're racing or whatever, you're flying, and you're in a certain position. And your legs just constantly lean against this hard metal. So what I'm going to do is get some foam, really thick foam, and put it on there. Always turn it off. I always turn it off when I'm not using it. Let's see. Those really aren't complaints. I mean, I kind of don't really see the difference with the dampeners on and the difference with the dampeners off. But I only done it with one game. Well, I took it off. I just didn't notice, I'll be honest with you. I would say get them, but I don't know, I just didn't notice. I guess it's supposed to help smooth out the action on the thing and not make it so rough. About the little seat belt, hardly ever use them, but it adds to the little realism sometimes. Do need it. You do need them when you're landing on the carrier in the F-18 and F-14. Because even though I got this turned down quite a bit, it is still a hell of a jerk when it goes forward. I mean, I know it's not carrier real, but you feel it. And your neck, the back of your neck can take a little punishment if that's all you're doing is flying F-18s and F-14s and landing on the carrier. Yeah, this little thing does nothing. So usually, if I'm going to be doing a lot of F-18 flights, because I don't really do the 14, I will put this on when I'm getting ready to land. But you can't really use this if you're in VR and you're trying to dogfight and you're trying to see what's behind you, because in VR you don't get the full rotation as you do with track IR. And track IR is really kind of unrealistic because in my case, I can turn maybe 25 degrees and I'm looking straight back. But that's an adjustment I need to make. Yeah, I got my cheap Logitech stick, Logitech wheels. They work. Give me a great feel. I didn't expect to have this big setup in my house. It is bigger than it looks. I don't really like clutter, and I'm not saying it's clutter, but when I add all the stuff I really feel I need, it kind of filled up a lot of space. Now, I don't really need this. I don't need this, but I wasn't buying a new computer system. You use what you already have, so I could probably make this a little more efficient. I could make this a little more efficient if I took my stereo and put it like over here, mounted the track IR, I don't know, like under here, and it would probably work a whole lot better because then I could slide this up further and a little bit closer. And I'm thinking that might be what I want to do. That's going to require me to take all of this loose, but I think that's probably what I'm going to end up doing. Because I think this is sitting back too far to really get efficient a tracker image. Because sometimes I cannot look at a certain angle with the tracker. I think that's just sitting back way too far. I'm not leaned back that far. I mean, this chair is usually up. Depends on what jet. Like the F-15, you got to sit back there because that's the first time I did F-15 today. And I was sitting too close, so I had to lean it back. But the rest of the jets are pretty cool. But I think that's what I'm going to do. I use a 65-inch TV, and I use that to kind of monitor what's going on if I'm doing streaming. Got my little VR adapter in case I let other people use it. Sweat. And that's it. What I got the X56? I got the X56. Been had it a year and a half. Got my little controllers, my little keyboard, my little stereo. This is actually a filter, but I use it to blow cold air on the motors because it blows real good cold air out on this motor, and it works. Because that's the one thing they were saying: don't let the motors get hot. Try to avoid the motors getting excessively hot, and that's what I do. This thing actually lifts up off the ground when you take off in the F-14. When you hit when it goes up, so that means I need to adjust this software. They have software here for this, which I've showed, the Sim Racing Studio software. I just need to adjust it. But the first time it did it, I was like, damn, this thing is actually lifting up off the ground. It lifts these fronts up. And I got kind of balanced. I'm using some really solid coasters. I mean, that's what I had, so that's what I use. But I do have some solid wooden planks I could put under there. But it's balanced, I leveled it out and everything. Overall, very happy with this thing. Is it worth $2,700? I think that's what I paid with shipping. I mean, it was like, $1,700, $1,800. Shipping was $500 or $600, something like that. Is it worth it? Yeah. Yep. I mean, it just adds you that realism, that you need if you're trying to imagine yourself as a pilot. Not that you can even come close to it, but I'm just saying for a living room adventure and for those times when you just, feel like you want to try to play that role, it adds a lot to it. I don't think it's for everybody. I mean, that's just the reality. That's a lot of money to spend. I mean, they got the H1, H2, H3, but I don't know. Just if you're gonna get one. I could actually take this up to the H6, but it's just like buying an H3 over again. So I don't think I'm gonna do that because what I get out of this now gives me enough of that sense of you are there, that you are flying, and that's kind of all you want to need. They call it the suspension of disbelief. So they kind of push you there, especially when you put the VR headset on and you got the sound going. With racing or flying, and really that's kind of all it's for, racing or flying. You're not going to sit in this chair and play an hour worth of XCOM 2 because the whole setup right here is not that comfortable after a while. I mean, it's not bad, but I'm just saying, if you're trying to play 2 hours of Monopoly or Risk or a game like that, you don't need to be in this chair. Just have it on something like that, another computer, and play it because this is not that comfortable. And I don't know if it's my chair or not, but I think it's the whole arrangement. It's just for long term playing something like that, I don't think this is, and it's kind of a waste. I mean, you want to use this to fly, drive, and that kind of stuff. But I love it. I would gladly buy this over again. This is one of those things where when I got this, I thought I was going extreme. When I used to see guys build their cockpits and all that, I'd be like, Then when I got this, I said, okay, I'm going overboard here. My gaming habits are just getting ridiculous. And then I went with VR, and I was like, I think I done lost it. I mean, it is what it is. I'm gonna buy what I'm buying, but I'm gonna stop right there, and then I want the full monkey. I think that's got to be it. The only other thing I can do now is put the whole professional cockpit in here, enclosed, and that's kind of the next level. Maybe some meta world stuff. I don't know. But when you game, you game. It is what it is. You're gonna game. This is not extreme. There's a lot of other extreme stuff on the internet from people and their setups. To me, this is not. I mean, this is extreme, but it's not extreme. It's not excessive. And I don't know if you can ever say anything is excessive because it's all about what you like. If it's your household and it's your money, if you want to build this whole room into a cockpit, that's your thing. So I never talk about a person's setup. It is what it is. I like my setup though. I don't know what they could do different here. I haven't had the problem with this being loose. I mean, I guess because I don't really race that much and that hard, but I haven't had any problems with that. This is pretty tight. I mean, it's pretty solid. At least for my style of driving. But getting in and out of this with that on is a bit much. And I don't know if I don't think it could be extended because then it might get a little crazier in terms of loose. That's one of the complaints of people saying that this is all loose. But for me, I'm cool with that. I don't need to modify that or not. But that's it. H3 DOF virtual reality sim is cool. I'm not gonna change the chair because I don't have anywhere to put that chair. It doesn't have a base, so it's just gonna have to wear out. Either it's gonna wear out or the machine gonna wear out. I mean, it's not a bad chair, but it's just not. I should have got a different bucket seat. But that's it. That's my update. That's my H3 update. Peace.